Welcome to today's edition of Renew Your Mind. I am Dr. Simeon Obukyo-Nakugwota, the President of Society for Positive Living, SPL. In today's edition of Renew Your Mind, we shall be considering the topic, Staying Positive in a Turbulent World. Staying positive in a turbulent world. The world is indeed turbulent. It is full of challenges, troubles, disappointment, pains, regrets, and so on. The Bible rightly stated in Job chapter 14 verse 1 that man that is born of a woman is of few days but full of troubles. The question is it possible for someone to stay positive, to remain calm and peaceful in the midst of disappointments, tribulations, troubles? Is it possible? The answer is yes. Let me briefly share with you life stories of two individuals who stay positive in spite of the miserable state they find themselves. If they can do that, then anybody can stay positive in any situation. These two instances, as well as many more, are clear indications that our peace of mind and the joy we get out of living depends not on our circumstances, but rather more on our attitude towards the circumstances. No wonder it is written in Proverbs chapter 23 verse 7 that as a man thinketh, so is he. If we think happy thoughts, in spite of the situation we find ourselves, we will be happy. Similarly, if we think miserable thoughts, fearful thoughts, even in pleasant situations, we will be miserable and fearful. Our life is indeed what our thinking makes it. So if we learn the skills to think positively, we will stay positive and have peace of mind in spite of any circumstance by God's grace. Anybody who is depressed, for example, is in such state because he lacks capacity to stay positive, not because of the situation he is going through. Are there not others with more terrible and frightening situations, and yet they are not depressed? They are. So it is not the conditions they are passing through that make them to be depressed, but their mindset, which can be worked upon. The first case I want to share with you is that of a lady called Helen Keller. You might have also heard of her. Helen Keller was the first deaf and blind person to earn a Bachelor of Arts degree, indicating that disability, even blindness, is no match for one with a spirit of positivity. The Bible noted that the spirit of a man will sustain his infirmity. Proverbs chapter 18 verse 14. You need to Google Helen Keller and read more about her life story. Her story is a proof that life can still be meaningful and enjoyable, even when it's burdened with pain and discomfort. She herself declared, although the world is full of suffering, it is full also of the overcoming of it. She also stated, be of good cheer. Do not think of today's failures, but of the success that may come tomorrow. She was a strong advocate of positivity and courageous living. The second example of someone that stayed positive in the midst of miserable circumstances is Victor Franklin. His father, mother, brother, and wife were killed in the Second World War. And he himself was imprisoned in the concentration camp. He passed through one of the most horrible situations that you can ever imagine. Yet he tried to make the best of his circumstances. He wrote, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. When you are faced with situations out of your control, you need to adapt to those circumstances. You need to say, like what Jesus Christ did, Father, not my will, but let your will be done. Such an outlook maintains one's sanity in difficult situations. Viktor Frankl stated, everything can be taken from a man or a woman except one thing, the loss of human freedom to choose one attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one way. It is that power of choice we have as human beings to decide whether to give in to circumstances or not makes us to be brave. Shakespeare once stated, coward dies many times before their death, but the valiant only taste of death but once. Let us resolve to stay positive and live a brave and courageous life by God's grace. The benefit of staying positive in this turbulent world is outlined in one of the SPS songs. The more we stay positive, the more we stay positive, the happier we shall be. Our smiling, our laughing, our self-talk, our courage. The more we stay positive, the happier we shall be. The more we stay positive, the more we stay positive, the healthier we shall be. Our singing, our whistling, our humming, our dancing. The more we stay positive, the healthier we shall be. The more we stay positive, the more we stay positive, the better we shall be. Our blessings, our purpose, our kindness, our prayers. The more we stay positive, the better we shall be. Indeed, the more we stay positive, the happier, the healthier, and the better we shall be. To stay positive in a turbulent world is to build your capacity to reduce or eliminate fear. Fear of failure, fear of death, and other forms of fear are very paralyzing. Reject fear as the controlling force of your life. The Bible admonishes us in 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7. For God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, and of love, and of a sound mind. This is one way to stay positive. Disappointments do occur in life, so we have to learn how to cope positively with disappointments, and to face disappointment graciously and humorously. That is what it means to stay positive in a turbulent world. Many people face disappointment with bitterness, anger, hurt, pain, and self-pity. They leave behind a bad impression because they are now in a self-inflicting position of weakness. On the other hand, those that stay positive face disappointment with calmness and peace. They operate from a position of strength rather than weakness, simply because they have adopted a positive outlook towards their disappointments. Positive outlook such as affirming to yourself that any disappointment could be a blessing in disguise, or thank God the condition is not worse than it is. No matter your condition in life, it could truly be worse than it is. Millions of others are in more miserable situation than yourself. You might remember the adage of a man crying that he has no shoe. Until upon the street, he met someone without legs, and he stopped crying because he now see his situation in proper perspective. It is better to stay positive than to stay negative. Staying negative makes matters worse. It adds to the existing problems. So let us learn and strive to stay positive by God's grace. I thank you for listening. I also want to appeal to you to make deliberate efforts to improve your positivity ratio. For those of you that want to become volunteers or champions of positivity, kindly contact us on 070-6417-8022. 070-6417-8022. and join us to make the world a happier, healthier, and better place to live in by God's grace. Thank you, and God bless you.
Conceit.